Welcome back, everybody, here to our second game of this two-game series at Newbee up against Invictus Gaming for the DAC 2017 Championships. This is your second last series of the day here on the second stream of the second day of the second DAC.
What?
Of the only group stage. Actually, I'd say of the second group, because this is technically the second group, right? So, a lot of seconds. A lot of seconds. But we're getting through to the first pick into the second pick of Invictus Gaming. And it is Juggernaut and Magnus coming in for Invictus Gaming. So welcome to the classic buff up. While Newbee will get one of the most popular offlaners so far is the Centaur.
Jug again?
They gave up Mag Jug again?
XXS was godly, though.
He was amazing. And you're going to go Keeper of the Light as your initial answer to this. At least the D push is pretty good from Newbee now, by having that Keeper of the Light in.
But Magnus, how do you win team fights? It's all about winning team fights now. Unless
up against, if the Magnus plays in the same level he played in game number 1, yeah, I really don't know. Like, actually how you win that team fight.
I think, I don't know. I think there's very few cases where in Dota now you can't, like, if you don't have the ability to win team fights, you're not going to win unless you have like Naga, which is pretty rare. I guess Alchemist too kind of falls into that category. Sometimes Anti-Mage, but those are pretty abnormal. I would say like in maybe like 10-15% of the games you'll see those. Actually, maybe like 20-25%. But like these seem like pretty standard drafts. Nothing super special is going to come out. How do you deal with the Magnus? You need overwhelming team fight to be able to deal with it. Centaur Ags is pretty good. Keeper Ags also pretty good, but I mean, heroes dropped during the skewer was how fast it was last time.
Yep. I'm wondering if IG even just let the Rubik through. It's like, okay, yeah, you want to go Rubik and Keeper of the Light? We're okay with that.
Yeah.
There's still some other decent things to steal, and yeah, they are going to let it through. They take out the Naga as the 4th ban. I think Newbee actually played that early today, even though they didn't have a lot of success with it.
That's what you're scared of if you're Magnus. You're scared of
URP into
You're not scared of team fight, I'll tell you that. So you ban out the other avenues, which is
the anti-team fight, the reset of the team fight.
Yep.
Well, Centaur kind of does offer that anyway, right? Through Stampede. It's just as long as you can move.
Well, we've seen a lot of Centaurs be very easy to kill, actually. Normally, it's like, oh, God, if we go on Centaur, we're going to lose. But maybe that -1 armor nerf was all it took.
Do you think Newbee as well are going to play the same battle they did before? Like, you put KP against XXS, and you just run that as your top lane. Because that was the fight they willingly put themselves into. They gave that Magnus so much space up on the top lane. They rotated to try and find kills, but didn't really work either. Like, if Earth Spirit gets through, like, you're banning out Tinker again, so consistently, this is 2 times in a row Newbee on their 3rd ban have taken Tinker out against Invictus Gaming. With exactly the same opener as well.
I think that is one of OP's best heroes. I remember seeing it first phase banned a lot, actually.
Yeah.
But
but it's like, do you still... Okay, they're going to take out the leader, too. It's like, OP just had so much space.
I think Shadow Fiend's still good, too. Like, Shadow Fiend, good carrier for Magnus. Can skewer into Requiem for significant team fight. A good tower hitter. I think there's substitutions, but it seems to be OP's best heroes, it looks like.
5 seconds remaining.
Oh, IG will have to change up their lineup from last time just a little bit.
Reserve time.
Let's have to get a little bit more of a glimpse into how they want to try and lane this up. But the easy assumption is Magnus off and Juggernaut safe. So we just need that first support, someone who's nice up against the Centaur.
Rubik themselves, I think,
possibly good against Stampede.
Yeah, you want something that's good against Stampede.
That's exactly what they do.
Yeah, Rubik's one of the better ones. He also has low cast point, so you can sometimes lift the Centaur before he stops. So Newbee, what do they want? A hero that doesn't die RP, or a hero that can deal with RP. I still like Puck as an option versus Magnus, just because I think it's very hard to catch a puck, and puck is very good at disrupting the Magnus. Just super annoying. Like you coil and you get stunned after you skewer out. The silence obviously very good versus him.
When was the last time that you remember seeing SC play a puck?
Never.
Yeah.
Quap also might be an option, but
Yeah,
I
but
don't
we,
know.
we also flagged the other issues for a Queen of Pain. You catch her out with an RP, and the way IG played it previously, they're just going to burst her out.
You need to stop the Magnus though. Like Invoker last game, yeah, he did a lot of damage, but he gets RP'd and he dies, and he can't really stop the RP from happening. What are you gonna do? Like send forward spirits to find a Shadowblade Magnus?
Right.
I think like Quap can actually like jump on the Magnus. Invoker can't jump on the Magnus. Even with BKB, you'll just die. I think Quap can actually like blink Orchid, do a lot of other stuff to make Magnus's life hell. All the Magnus games just seem like it's way too easy for him to actually get the RP up.
We are doing a rinse and repeat of the roaming supports from either side. So SK roaming for Newbee, and the Earth Spirit's back for Invictus Gaming.
Now Newbee needs some cores.
Yep.
Core Uno and Core Dos, or actually Core Dos and Core number 3. What's good versus Jug? Slark, I guess. What?
Wow, Ben.
They're actually doing it.
It's amazing when you're really right about something.
Wow.
For those that weren't tuning into the Wise Oracle that sits next to me, looking at counter heroes against the Magnus, and Wraith King is one of those.
That's actually amazing. I'm flabbergasted that they picked it. Normally, I'm like, oh, it sounds pretty good in theory, but like, my line of thinking is much different from the teams, except the once in a blue moon where they actually like, hey, yeah, fuck it, let's go Wraith King. Wow, Wraith King.
Yeah.
Dang.
The big man is up, and this doesn't actually allow Newbee to, if they want to,
they need to
do exactly the same thing again. Like you run the Wraith King on the off lane.
Dude, they
with SK Cuddle.
mega have to ban AM though. They just run Jug
Yep.
mid, AM safe lane. You do Wraith King's awful.
But if Jug's gonna still get the Diffuser Blade, it's not. Like, he's still gonna get what he wants out of the Wraith King.
It's not guaranteed though. Like
Yeah.
Like AM.
Yeah.
Wow. Wraith King. I've been on fire sometimes with my draft picks.
And there's the anti-mage ban as well, so they protect their Wraith King. And now the mid laner. They went for the Invoker previously, and again, both teams have allowed him to go through the pool.
What is good here? Puck, I actually still think is okay. I just don't know if FCC plays it. It's also one of the good
And
heroes
they're going to
for
stay
Earth
with the
Spirit.
Invoker.
Yeah, they need a scaling core, so I don't know. Invoker
They need the Exalt to work with the off lane. Like, when you go for the multiple stuns on the off lane, you need to have that bonus damage, because they don't really have it from what they've got.
They win the early mid, but you just lose out versus RP later. This is what happened last game. Last game, yeah, sure, it was great. Sand King plus Invoker, and then boom, RP comes online, and then what?
Yeah.
You just lose all the team fights. So, I don't know.
Unless you switch it up, like...
What do you mean switch it up?
I don't know, like, because right now I'm seeing Newbee almost running the same laning phase as well, with this SK Coddle, Wraith King bottom lane, Centaur top lane. Let the one-on-one battle happen between Centaur as well as Magnus. Then just rotate in the SK when you think you can find a kill.
I think they just do safe, just do normal try, a safe lane try. I think Wraith King's not that great in aggro because that hero really needs levels. He's okay in aggro, but he's not amazing. I think you can just do like Wraith King, Sand King up top. It's
but if they look for because they still have the double stuns, right? Like you still got the Wraith Fire Blast into the Burrow Strike with the
melee
Sun
versus
Strike.
Magnus though. So Magnus, if you're not careful, you just get skewered back into the tower.
And Ember Spirit will be the final one up for Invictus Gaming. So
nice cleaver.
yeah, good combination with the Earth Spirit if they're going to try and find the kill in the mid up against the Invoker, but still requires SC to be slightly out of position.
Man, I did not think when I woke up this morning, I did not think I'd see Wraith King.
Why
Last
not
time-
Wraith King? What's so bad about him?
No one picked him even when Lone Druid was popular, okay? And now that Lone Druid is fallen off because of the nerfs, it's just like Wraith King's just not a thing. His talents are actually not that great though. I played him a few times. I'm like, man, I wish these talents were better. Because they're just unsatisfactory.
Even his Ags upgrade seems very meh.
Oh, I hate that X. It's good as a support, but as a core, you don't have slots for that. Kings do not deal with such worthless items. 4,200 gold, please. Anything that helps my team, please.
I will only take the glory and the riches for myself.
He has damage issues. You need attack speed and damage on him, like Armlet, Maelstrom, Blink, Blade Mail, those sort of things.
Mm-hmm.
BKB is not necessary here because Juggernaut is not going to have he hits. You're worried about Diffusal when they have a lot of attack speed and not enough damage, but when you have Empower, you actually hit harder, probably so hard that you're not going to be able to burn all his mana down. He actually does have an Int talent too at level 10, so if you're really scared about it, you can take an Int talent, but I don't think you will just because it's not very common.
Well, let's get into the game. Invoker, do your little scout thing. This time, no TPs aggressively out from either side, including the pulled TP to burning. Also, just see, what was that set on U9? Alright, so he's still holding the Immortal. He's got his Immortal, the Autograph Blistering Shade by Kabu.
That thing is not a great Immortal.
The Winter Blight though looks pretty sick.
Yeah,
it looked better in the display screen than this. I don't know about the helmet either. It makes him look like a transformer.
I don't like the helmet.
Yeah.
Wraith King actually does not have that great cosmetics. If only it were Skeleton King, then he'd be a badass.
Yeah. But Skeleton King was also an issue in China because you're obviously not allowed to show the bones, I believe. So it all got censored. That's why Clinks looks very different as well, and they have armor covering him up.
But are we on the? Yeah. Wait, I don't think ours is
No, ours
unscary.
Ours shouldn't be.
Yeah, ours shouldn't be.
We don't have a hero inside the game to actually test it on at the moment.
I can go demo. Lifestealer. Actually, yeah, just look at Lifestealer. Lifestealer has teeth.
What?
Yeah, he has teeth. And in the other, he definitely looks normal. The Doom and the Lifestealer look really weird. I think it's actually scarier looking at them without teeth. It's like their mouths are like sewn or something like that. I don't know. It's not my favorite. I'm glad I play on the non-Chinese client.
I hear that the Chinese voiceover is amazing.
Dude, it's hilarious. Hearing a Chinese dude do Puck is great.
Wait, there's a dude that does...
I don't know if it's a dude.
It sounds like a guy?
It's just a high-pitched same tone of voice as Puck, except he's spewing out Chinese. It's hilarious. One of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life is hearing SpongeBob done by a Chinese actor. I was in Taiwan. I was watching SpongeBob. It's so funny. The guy trying to do Patrick. Oh, my God. Patrick is so hilarious. I don't understand a lot of Chinese, but what little I do understand, oh, my God. I was just cracking out. It was golden. I couldn't find it anywhere on YouTube, though, when I was trying to find for the Chinese version of SpongeBob.
All right. Copyright must have been strict.
Oh my God!
Struck.
It was so funny.
And I now actually want to go check that out if I can find a copy.
Yeah,
of
hopefully
it.
someone can link me. That'd be great.
My first time actually hearing like a different language do a show I really knew was when I heard the German version of Police Academy.
I don't know what that show is. Is it good?
You don't know Police Academy?
No. What's Police Academy?
It's like the classic movies of Commodore Lassard.
Dude, I don't know any old movies. Is it old?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I don't. I'm not an old movie
I think it's
watcher.
1980s, I think.
Oh, I haven't watched anything before. Like, I don't know. Miss Doubtfire is probably one of my oldest movies that I watched. Or like Land Before Time or something like that.
Okay, yeah, Land Before Time was epic. No
Yeah.
doubt about that one, but not all the other ones that came after it. They did like 15 versions of Land Before Time. It was really, like, it was bled dry. That was almost as bad as Dogs Go to Heaven.
Didn't see that.
Another.
You're talking to the wrong dude, buddy.
I'm sorry. The last TV series, like the older series, iOS was Lost or something like that. Yeah,
I watched Lost.
I did not.
SpongeBob SquarePants. Oh, man.
Where is IG off to? It looks like they're going to go for a bit of a wraparound. Newbee last time, they smoke up, and they're actually going to do it again. They got the smoke over on Kaka, so yeah, they did this last time, and then just pushed up and take the Radiant rune inside the jungle. IG are not obliging them with a fight. They're actually invading the Newbee jungle to try and get that rune.
Wraith King is much weaker in lane than Weaver, so they're taking advantage of the Wraith King. That is one of Wraith King's biggest weaknesses, is getting pressured early on. I think he's strong at 1 of 3 and then 12.
Newbee really love contesting runes. Kaka, Unite, and Faith gonna go around. Bobica actually just rolling bolted forward. So Burrow Strike forward. Here comes your Sunstrike and the Illuminate damage. There is your first blood going the way of Newbee.
Make that Wraith King work.
Yep. Of course, this is the downside about Wraith King. Like, he'll actually get himself stunned back up by the time he gets back in.
I forgot he has Chakra.
Yeah.
Chakra's really good because you can double stun. It's 8-second cooldown, and then with the 6-second reduction, it's 2-second cooldown, 2-second duration. So you have like double stun, and you actually don't need to go any mana items. You don't need to go Soul Ring. You don't need to go. You probably still go Stick, but you definitely don't need to go the Int Talent. You can go the 15 damage instead. So yeah, life's pretty good with Wraith King when you have Keeper. Actually, life's always good when you have Keeper on your team.
Keeper is the hero, the ultimate support.
He is the ultimate support. Man, I just dream of having a Keeper in every one of my games.
IG's already switching their lanes up. I think they were also expecting Newbee to do exactly what they did last time by putting KP up on the top lane. Now KP rolling boulder, gonna miss once again from the Earth Spirit, but with a spin, a quick TP out, KP will survive.
Damn, what a player, dude.
And he goes back to the shrine so he doesn't have to miss out on any potential experience.
He was so ready for that. And unfortunately for them, Bobica missed that rolling boulder. Had that rolling boulder connected, they definitely could have staggered the slows and stuns a little bit longer so that there was no chance that he could TP out. But very well played by KP.
Well, they're going to turn this into a duel lane. The harassment from Keeper of the Light make life very difficult for the IG supports.
That's what you want to do as Keeper, though. You want to shove the lane in so there's no kill potential on KP. You can't kill KP if there's no creep wave. So that's I think, also why I think Keeper is one of the strongest heroes in the game right now, because he has this potential to make your offlane much, much stronger because you just Chakra, Illuminate, Chakra, you know, pop a couple clarities, and you secure level 3 for your offlaner just like that.
It's amazing how much space, too, that Kaka is going to receive. Like, you have the Magnus now coming over to try and contest him. And I say contest him, he's actually got Skewer plus the Empower buff up. If Kaka's not careful, okay, he's going to take the 2-minute rune. But you know what Magnus would love to do is try and kill him. But you're doing this, the SK is still going to find a lot more farm. And what are you going to do? Rotate supports up to the top lane to deal with that? Second you do that, you kind of almost sacrifice the Juggernaut on the bottom. Because KP just does this, the Illumina connects. Double Edge is available, but KP knows that one point up in Double Edge is not enough to kill off Burning at the moment. And another missed rolling boulder.
I still can't believe they picked Wraith King. I was actually like stunned that they picked it. I wonder if U9 actually likes that hero. So that is a very polarizing hero for carries. If you ask carries, some love it, some hate it. It's one of the few ones that is like a love or hate sort of thing.
It's like the carry that never ends, right? You can dive, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
there's gonna be random crit chances.
People think that he's really boring though because you just don't do that much, right? You just stun, you kind of just lumber around and right-click people. Like Weaver, you're super fast, you can move around the fight. Juggernaut is always fun to spin, and you feel like a god because you can just spin TP, farm out waves, and Omni Slash makes you invulnerable. But yeah, for Wraith King, I don't know. Some people find it like super peaceful that you can just kind of farm and no one wants to mess with you because you have your ult. And some people are like, God, this is the most boring game in the world. Give me a hero that does something.
Kaka really just does not want that fight. Managed to make the time and effort to rotate into the mid to come in behind OP, but while Flame Guard was
lane, another miss.
He missed the rolling boulder?
Yep.
Fate's going to give the Illumines a load of extra damage. KP didn't start his TP out. Instead, a quick Hoof Stomp. No wand charges. No wand. He had Salve as well as Tango, so no regeneration was the word I was looking for.
Wand is important.
Against this lineup, makes, yep.
Yeah,
Kaka now with a haste rune. OP. Flame Guard's back up again. And Kaka's not going to Burrow Strike underneath that tier 1 tower.
too hard to Burrow Strike anyways. Searing Chains, dude. Searing Chains.
Uno's getting a lot of solo experience now on the top lane. Kaka spending most of his time rotating. He may not be able to survive for this, however, as Baboka again. This time he'll go for the kick. Kaka will get the Burrow Strike off. A quick skill will slow him down and do that little bit of bonus damage. So SK will fall. Even if he was being a bit of a pain in the butt with the creeps.
Magnus, what a hero. So good at jungling, too. Well, it looks like he is going to snack at 5. They didn't even pop the shrine on the left side, so life's good for
Look
Magnus.
to the mid. Where's that cold snap? Where's the control on OP? Kaka cannot reach him with a level 1 Burrow Strike. SC has Sunstrike available, but really wants to have another stun to make that work. That's a 260 HP Ember Spirit.
It looks like he didn't want to expend the mana for cold snap.
He didn't really have a lot of mana to work with anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of the problem going to Quas. Like, generally you want... These are the two spells you want. The Alacrity
this will
and
work.
Sunstrike.
This Sunstrike will work. Earth Spirit's going absolutely nowhere apart from down.
Back to base you go, sir.
You know, the funny thing is, this is similar to the double stun combination we were having a bit of a chat about when we were kind of laughing about the Faceless Windrunner offlane. This kind of feels very similar to like the double control, both provide the burst damage. Obviously KP's more melee than running a power shot, so it's double edge instead of the power shot.
You're comparing Centaur to Wind Ranger?
Centaur to Lashrak. The SK is kind of filling the role of the Wind Ranger, which is the initial stun. You know, both teams with the mindset that scans just north and south of the mid lane.
Yeah. OP's not level 6 yet. Just wants to make
Smoke
sure that
break.
he gets that quick.
Kaka's Observer Ward on the outside of the tree line breaks the smoke of Q and Baboka. Baboka. Rolling boulder forward, KP dodges it. Now your Burrow Strike, wait for the Sunstrike, Hoof Stomp is down, double edge as well with the Illuminate. They don't even need the Sunstrike. Kaka, however, maybe not enough life when burning, is able to get a nice crit to finish the job.
Jeez, that Arcana, what happened after he got that kill?
It imprints the ground.
He also just like stood still for a second too. I wasn't sure if that was like part of whatever he was trying to do, or taunt or whatever, but interesting.
I think it was just the death to the crit. Oh. Anyway, that's still a 1-for-1 off trade. U9 is shredding on CS. He's hit 50 CS in 7 minutes and 20 seconds. There's only one person staying anywhere near him, and that's OP. And now OP spending time outside of the lane. SC's all alone in the mid, about to complete up his Hand of Midas. So a perfect timing for him as well.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They're getting so much out of this off lane.
This Wraith King wants levels too. He just picked up a Hand of Midas, so...
Midas is really important on him, actually. Because you need to be able to get 12. You're like very vulnerable with level 1 ulti, because that thing cooldown is insanely long.
Kaka, the attack! It doesn't miss up the hill. OP will be able to find that kill over on Kaka. I'm not certain, though, Invoker's going to be too happy about this, because SC picked up the Hand of Midas, but the Courier is still busy up on the top lane.
That's
Efficiency-wise, it's a little bit off.
Just a tiny bit. If you think Black Hole cooldown is long, level 1 Reincarnation is awful.
I'm surprised U9 actually skilled it, instead of bypassing it. Or saving the point, at least. To know if it's worthwhile actually having it trigger.
I think, yeah.
That's what most Wraith Kings would do in the past.
It depends on how much faith you have in your team. If you think that your team is going to always help you out no matter when and where you die the first time, then yeah, it's correct to pick it up at level 6. But
well,
yeah.
Kaka's not really ready to give that kind of assistance. Like if he had a Blink Dagger, I can understand the...
They'd have to
the
commit a
confidence.
lot to kill him twice, though. How do they even start killing him once? They'd have to use a big ultimate like RP and a skewer back.
It's not even just like even killing him once would still be fine. Like burning through the reincarnation, putting it on cooldown.
I'd
As long as you don't have to commit
I'd
a
rather
huge
lose
ultimate.
reincarn than just
Kaka,
die.
be careful. There's no RP actually skilled up for the Magnus. He went for this 4-2-1 build
That's
over on
cool.
Magnus.
Shockwave's really strong. You can push out the wave with it, but yeah, I mean, not having RP is
Unusual,
unusual.
but there's no team fights, right?
Yeah, and he needed the level 2 of power. I think it helped him a lot being able to cleave down those neutrals. So I don't think he'd be in this situation had he not gotten level 2 in power.
That fresh Observer Ward got scattered out by Newbee's dire Obs Ward.
Well, momentum shifting back in favor of IG. Magnus doing his thing again. Still surprised that they gave it to him.
Yep.
Because one of the most unbelievable performances I've seen from him. But SCCC will get some extra gold. Make up for that Midas, late Midas. Gets that Obs Ward gold. He's going for Yules this game, too. Last game he went for Drum Scepter, I believe. Yules, very good versus Ember to get rid of his thing. Is also good to deal with the Magnus. I actually think he's going more anti-Magnus than he was last game.
U9 is here to fight, so IG are forcing with 4 heroes into this tier 1 tower, but with Illuminate spamming Keeper of the Light, the Sunstrike, and Illuminate will connect on OP. He's so low, the kick will create a little bit more space as SC and U9 all just have to stay exactly where they are. And they're bailing. They do half damage to the tower. Faith is able to repel them. Another player who just bypasses his ultimate. But very understandable with the Keeper of the Light.
Yeah, definitely more so than Magnus. Magnus did pick up at level 8, so no harm, no foul for him. Looking at Ember. What do you actually build on the Ember? Veil, I suppose, is in his quick buy. He does have the Earth Spirit to synergize with it. I'm trying to think of any other builds that would be good for him, though. I guess you can't really go wrong with Veil. There's not that much physical damage on the dire side, though, so I don't really know if he needs the armor. Blade Mail could also be kind of good, too, especially if you're running out a hero like Keeper. Battle Fury, not necessary. Maelstrom could be a potential pickup. I haven't really seen anyone really go like a right-click build, though, despite his right-click talents getting stronger.
Yeah, but with the Ember Spirit going into the Mjolnir still makes sense, so you can lightning shield yourself up on top of the Flame Guard.
Yeah, I guess you just do need the Veil to farm, and so you can cast multiple remnants in a fight.
Face Observer Ward just scattered out, the Magnus moving up, but then again, so is the Dire Creep Wave. A face in the neighborhood, there goes your Stampede, just charge in. Illuminate will hit the money. Faith will take the kill, so TP support to come in at OP. He actually gets the double Searing Chains of both Kaka as well as U9. Bobaka gonna miss a little bit again on that rolling boulder. U9 has to let the stun out. He triggered his 1 charge as well, so the mana is there for Reincarnation to trigger, but when the Illuminate connects as well, the slow, they just couldn't go away. A secondary Illuminate's coming in, Baboka, he's so low, the Hellfire Blast will find the kill. But Newbee unable to save the Wraith King on his second life.
Man, if only he were level 12 for that, it wouldn't have been so painful for him.
But you did lose the Magnus as well.
That could have been a lot better for IG. OP was really slow about popping his stick. He thought he had the mana for the Remnant, and then he's like, oh, wait, I don't have... Oh, RP into mid. SEC still gets a tower, and he's already Ghost Walled.
Yeah. Gets the tower, gets RP'd, goes invis, survives to fight another day. And this game appears to be a lot more problematic for Invictus Gaming. The rotations into simple pickoffs that they were able to find with the Magnus before, it just doesn't exist. And they need the Blink Dagger.
I think a lot of it is because of the Keeper. Like, they haven't been able to get any towers because of the Keeper. Keeper's just sitting there at the tower. So Like before, they could just seize your tower with the Juggernaut, you know, no problem. But now it's
the second Obs
like
will
you're
get scattered out again.
Yep.
Give the money to Faith.
They need to use smokes for those.
Yep. But it's the fact the same dire Observer Ward scattered out, both Observer Wards being placed.
Hoboka maybe trying to drop into Obs Ward as they try and look for the Keeper. They see the Keeper.
Well, they do now with the Illuminate out. But looks like Newbee aren't really interested. Karka's forcing out the bottom lane. A quick scan by the Dire, looking into the tree line, realized no one's there, so SC will have to turn this into a push game now. So more of a tier 1 for tier 1 tower trade-off. Newbee are a little bit slower with their push, but they have the catapult still up and running. So it shouldn't take them too long.
And now a Yules. Yules is... It's actually going to make Magnus' life very difficult. I know he was very fast on the Blink RP skewer last game, but this game, Yules is very reliable in being able to stop a Magnus from destroying him.
Mm-hmm. That tier 2 tower is still falling. At the moment, Newbee aren't in any kind of position to stop it. Karka's too busy enjoying the bottom lane. And now the recall comes in. So Faith bringing some friends back. And U9 will be the first one.
Still doesn't have a level 2 ulti on Reincarn. Or it hasn't cooled down yet. He did take intel. Wow.
Yeah, he did. Smoke up, jump up from the side. KP, Q doesn't have the distance. KP has to blink himself into the tree line, starts cutting his way free with the Quelling Blade. But Stampede's available, and Karka's very happy about this. Means he can pressure bottom lane a little bit more. Now you'll probably see Q jump down. Burrow strikes on, so pick him up, throw him down. Burrow strike with a Fable, and in range of the tower. Karka gets solo killed up by a Rubik.
What a positioning. God. Wow.
He just made that work.
Impossible, I think, during the daytime. He would have seen him TP in the back, but during nighttime, you got to use that small vision to your advantage. IG still looking to make some plays. RP has been up for quite some time, but...
Well, the timing to kill him. 13 seconds before you're going to have Reincarnation back up again. So Searing Chains hold him in. There are 6-6 charges, and with Stampede, space can be created. So a Yule Scepter onto the Ember Spirit. Goodbye, Flame Guard. And U9, he actually goes out to the Magnetize. Was he a second away from Reincarnation?
He was 1 second away. Literally 1 second. I think he popped the stick too early. I think what I see players do is like when you want an armlet toggle, you turn off your armlet, you pop your stick immediately, and then you turn your armlet back on before the tick happens for the Magnetize. But his problems were compounded because of the Magnetize. So, you know, going back to what you said about not skilling up the ultimate once, I think it would have been the play for him. Because he died twice, and then...
Just to accept his fate up on top lane.
And then he would have had level 2 Reincarn for this particular fight.
Like, the only thing which probably helped that fight up on top lane was the fact that with the slow from his Reincarnation, the second Illuminate did connect.
And he got that one kill on Earth Spirit. Is it worth?
Well, Burrow Strike in from Karka. Doesn't commit the Epicenter, and rightly so, because OP jumps down. And then Slider Fist dodges the Hellfire Blast. Easy style points. Newbee are going to go into their own smoke. They definitely know there's no vision. They've actually dewatered 3 Observer Wards in the last, I think, 4 minutes.
This is the time to hit their stride, though. When Wraith King gets level... gets to this point, level 12, almost with Blink Dagger, it's time to start fighting and put pressure on the Magnus. You can't have him just farm a Midas and just get super out of control like last game.
They find OP. Hoof Stomp gonna miss his target. OP's fine.
He didn't have any remnants at that exact moment. And well, another benefit about Wraith King is you can do Rosh very easily. You don't need Vlads. You don't really need anything aside from Wraith King.
And they just give him Alacrity anyway.
Yeah, that's great.
He's hitting about 270.
Life is good. Do they give it to SCCC? Or do they give it to U9? I actually don't know. Probably SCC. They always go out on SCC. Oh, what?
They give it to the Wraith King.
That is very surprising.
And they must really want to be using Wraith King as a punching bag on the front lines if you're going to give him an Aegis.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of stupid, right? Especially in the later game, where your reincarnation will pop, and that's the first thing that triggers. So it's actually, is it that? It's reincarnation pops first. Then the Aegis Immortal will trigger. Then you'll have reincarnation again. So basically, three times the Wraith King.
That usually only happens at level 18, though. I think when you're when you have your level 12 ult, it's not really that beneficial to give him the age. I guess it depends on how YOLO you want him to play, but I don't know. I don't foresee like when IGC's like, why will we fight the Wraith King? Just ignore him.
Well, if they can.
Yeah, but I mean that makes SCCC prime RP target. Prime.
We're actually getting like a 19-minute Midas now onto the Magnus.
Yeah, I think he had what, like 14 to 15 maybe last game.
It's like no one likes Echo Saber on this guy anymore.
Midas is important for the talents. So 90 GPM, pretty good.
IG still waiting for some kind of opportunity. They've been very heavily grouped up, but they're also being grouped up on top of a Dire Observer Ward. So you know what you're up against. Faith, maybe not realizing that OP is down the bottom lane, gets mass spirited by the Ember Spirit and easily murdered.
Faith is not as good at hiding in the trees as
Look at the spree. He gave 504 gold to OP for a spree just then.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Keeper was really close to the Scepter. I'm talking about like 100, 200 gold away.
He has to back up a little bit more.
So U9, are you going to go pick up your Blink Dagger? I guess he could potentially sell a stick for it right now. What is he going to do? No more slots.
It's Blink Dagger in the quick buy.
Yeah.
Put the TP scroll into the stash.
I think you sell Quelling, yeah. Put TP scroll in the backpack and then get it.
Yeah, exactly what happens. And then, well, TP's up towards the top lane.
Because he does have the int talent, though, you can still ignore him. His only damage item is armor.
Mid lane Stampede's going to be triggering at the moment. It's like OP was already killed off, so sorry, missed that one. But there was no instant follow-up. So it was just the one hero kill. Burning, starts his little spin and NTP. No stuns available. No Basher build on the Wraith King to give that extra chance. I mean, that only chance.
I wonder what item he goes next. Probably Mjolnir, I would say.
On Wraith King?
Yeah. I see Blade Mail sometimes too, but I don't really like Blade Mail versus Jug or versus the Ember Spirit.
Would you not look for a little bit more lockdown from him? I don't know actually what do you even get for that. Like a later MKB would make sense.
Lockdown means Basher. I don't think you go Basher right now. That is way too early. I think Maelstrom, because if you go Basher, you can't farm up that well. Like he's having issues keeping up in net worth. He does have a Midas to help that, but you still have to deal with the Juggernaut and power on the opposite side.
What about things like Echo Saber on a Wraith King? And there's no instant buff you get from that, but potentially you could just the increased chance to crit.
Echo Saber? Echo Saber's too small for Wraith King. You have item slot issues on him, especially when you go Midas.
So you just go for tier 3 items mainly.
Yeah, like Mjolnir, AC. After that, it kind of depends on how the game's going. Sometimes you need BKB if you're mana burned constantly. Sometimes you need Abyssal if you're having trouble locking down like a Jug and an Ember Spirit. I'd probably say Mjolnir, AC into Abyssal is probably the build that I would look to for him. Maybe a Heart to replace the Armlet super late. You actually don't need BOTs though in this game, which is quite nice because you have the Keeper with Ags. So that's also a huge benefit that makes Wraith King a lot more viable in this game than in others.
So you can just pull him around wherever the hell he wants to go. But now U9 is pushing out the bottom lane. Still, most of the support from Newbee is headed to the southern side of the map, so the tier 2 tower on bottom lane is the priority target. And up on top lane, Burning with the Empower buff up is going to be approaching the tier 2 of Newbee's safe lane very quickly. This kind of cleave Wraith King just doesn't have. So he loses the push race. So Aegis Immortal is gone. It will time out.
What a waste of ages. I mean, they couldn't have really done anything about it. They were trying to siege as best they could. But IG, you know what to do when Wraithking gets ages. Level 18 too, you still want to stall. But they can't do the shenanigans like they did before with like Blink skewering him in. It's not going to work as well this particular game. 40-second cooldown on ultimate is ridiculous on level 18 Wraithking. 40 seconds. With Aegis, it's really hard to kill him before his second reincarn comes up.
What do you actually go with U9? Like, do you
he's going Dezo.
I mean, like with the talent trees, with the later points. So attack speed or strength.
Wow, he went plus 50 Wraithfire DPS. You only get 2 seconds of the damage. Wow, I'm actually quite surprised.
So that just makes it 300 damage. Goodbye one. Sorry, bottom lane. I was too busy checking out those things. As KP dropping down quickly. They've lost 2. The third one is U9, who will end up triggering off that reincarnation back to World of Living and then focusing onto OP. Finally gets the crit. Almost 600 for it. The RP from Max creates space, but better is the Blinding Light and Illuminate. The heals are kicking in, but Burning still with a triple kill. Looking for SC. Does he find him? The Urn Charge is doing the work. The Shockwave will miss its target, but does the Urn have enough damage? With the silence, he's down to 44. He will survive. SC is away. Will purchase up his Blink Dagger. The Hook Wave!
What?
So close!
Wow.
SC will get recalled and then illuminated back up. A little bit of life and then triggering Shrine as well.
I can't actually believe that XSS was so close. That's some good presence of mind there. Woo!
Run the movement speed, start the pings on the ground. This is where he's going. This is where he's going.
I don't actually like Dezo that much on Wraithking just because it's a mid-tier item that you're going to replace later. I think like Maelstrom helps you a lot more into the later game, but it is really good at killing the Jug while he spins. The thing is, I don't think Burning's going to be spinning you. Like, you're not going to have that much uptime on these heroes.
Do you even think Newbee gets into the late game as well?
Oh, I mean, they're going to at this point. But one of the biggest problems with Wraithking is you get kited, which is why we used to see the Radiance build a lot. And I think Mjolnir also helps the issue of you getting kited, because you're going to be taking down from like Magnetize, from Flame Guard, and whatnot. So your Mjolnir is going to be procced constantly if he were to get it. But Desolator, not my preferred build, but he is going for Dezo into the AC combination for some heavy, heavy, heavy right click.
Yeah, see that to me just feels like Newbee, you really want to go high ground, and he has to be the main line tank for that. Skewer out, able to find Kaka, a quick silence, and then Stampede away. Mana leak over on Baboka, that's problematic. Already going to get stunned up as he tries to rolling boulder out. But stolen Stampede allows IG to easily retreat.
Yep, they're out. Newbee know that they can do Roche at will, but they just need to wait for that bad boy to respawn.
Faith is trying to make it completely dark on the map for IG. Get their own Observer Wards down, having that early gem. There's only one real Observer Ward on the map. In fact, it is the only Observer Ward up for the Radiant side at the moment. Sitting on the top lane. They got a couple more now that Rubik has picked him up. But he's only got one Observer Ward to work with. Hard to keep tabs on when Newbee is moving. You just don't have the obs up, and in fact, Newbee under the cover of smoke, obs wouldn't even help you for this. That dire Observer Ward sees so much. The jump forward, the stun over on Burning with the hoof stop as well. They need the kill, but a 4-man RP! Faithful creates space, but into the Omni Slash! Newbee! They'll lose everything! Reincarnation will trigger, but Burning, he did his job. Now he has to let OP do the rest of the work. The kick can fly through. They have to hold U9 in position, and they're able to do so. Burning will pick up a double kill, but a perfect RP into the sweetest bit of damage you could hope to do against Newbee.
Yum, that Omni Slash. Oof, must have felt good for Burning right there.
Just before that fight began, too, he spent his money. Like, if that didn't work, they could have been, like, in real issues. But he bought the Basher before that fight began.
Oh, that was so close.
4.6k damage he got.
They were so close to killing Burning. But that health talent saved his booty. Actually, I don't know if he was below 175, but he was pretty close. He was probably in like the low 200s range.
He was low. I think that's enough.
Oh, and they actually didn't get Roche either. Newbee didn't. Yeah, now they're in a pretty bad spot. Invoker's died a couple times now. Wraith King just died a couple times.
This one, Wraith King was meant to come online. Like,
Yeah,
be really powerful, and it's IG winning the fights. But it's also the respect you have to give to the Magnus. Like, that 4-man RP. Newbee were committing so heavily in to try and kill off Burning before that fight began. And then the RP created all the space in the world. And the unsung hero in that was OP. Like, he was in there as well. I believe he actually got a 4-searing chain off. Well, he got a huge searing chain off.
Getting 4-man RP like that is just a little bit too much tunnel vision onto the Juggernaut. Burning's important, but not that important. Even if they had killed, let's say they had killed Juggernaut, would they have been able to survive that? I suppose they actually would have. Because Burning did like 7,000 damage that fight, so that's kind of everyone's HP.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, so IG. Only one remaining out of town now for them to remove of Newbies. But they're also being pressured up on the top lane. KP gave it a little bit of a nudge, trying to create a little bit more space for himself to finish up his own Aghanim Scepter. They have an opportunity to kill off Kaka on the bottom lane. Burning has that Blink Dagger available, so a quick Sandstorm and skewer down over into the tree lines. Kaka, they blink, they'll find him, no bash. 2 hits from Burning and no joy.
Pretty low chance. What, 50% chance of that happening? 0.75? Yeah.
You still live on hope.
Yeah.
There's your Abyssal Blade now being completed up, so Juggernaut now has a fully completed Abyssal Blade. There is no chance anymore.
It's so bad for the Invoker now, though. Like, Invoker, I'm still not the biggest fan of the Invoker picks.
This could work nicely. OP, no protection for him. Perfect Hoof Stomp double edge, and thanks to Yule Scepter, there was no way to really have a flame cut up, and that's 70 seconds where the Ember Spirit is down. He was buying his Lincoln Sphere, so Newbee actually had the opportunity to fight here.
How do they see him?
Observer Ward in the lane, I think. And he was being stalked by the SK. The Observer Ward's deeper, like a long way down. They can see the rest of IG posturing. So, U9 to the front lines. The tank with the 40-second cooldown on the ultimate. And with a Alacrity buff up as well, he hits pretty damn hard. It's not that long until daytime, so 15 seconds until daytime is up. Newbee's push becomes a lot better at that point. Abyssal Blade going to be committed. The Wraith King not looking too healthy. Hellfire Blast will be stolen, and Wraith King very, very low. The Urn will tick him out. Remember again, though, he's going to have that off cooldown pretty soon, so they have to murder him with the Omni Slash. KP jumped in as well. He takes so much of the extra damage. Burning will find the double kill. And Newbee on the retreat once more. TP out to the side lanes. TP back to base.
Looks like Wraith King might not beat the counter.
Well, may have actually been the counter. The problem is, like, the position they had around that Ancient fight just...
Yeah,
it bit him in the ass.
That was rough.
It's been a long day, too.
Well, now they can get some tower damage in onto the T3, despite Keeper's best efforts to keep them away. There is still 30 seconds in the grave for Wraith King. Burning is not going to let this opportunity slide.
And Wraith King can't really... Oh, maybe the RP! They caught out the Invoker! SC is going to go down. Wraith King and Invoker both have buybacks, but 82 seconds without the Invoker.
XXS just finds the best RPs.
He just finds the best of everything with Magnus.
And Kaka tried so hard to stun them right before the skewer hit. But he is the fastest Magnus I've seen. He'd be really good in like a Wild Wild West duel, man. I'm telling you, he's just so quick on that.
There goes your mid-melee Rax.
We're talking about an instant stun.
Yep.
No cast point on Burrow Strike and still was not able to get it off before the skewer, and SCC's like, oh god, I'm dead.
He's too good.
Dead.
He's just too good. And they already want to go back in again.
No Aegis, though.
Like, he doesn't even care. Like, the Observer Wall gives him all the information he needs. He knows he can do the Blink Skewer and drag KP back. Because KP farming on the side, can he get closer to Kaka? Kaka hiding inside the Sandstorm as you see Burning running towards him.
It's a little risky, though. They don't have ultimates up. No RP, no Aegis. So remember what happened last time when SEC bought back and destroyed them with Evoker? That very same thing could well happen if they're not careful. And Burning will be sieging the tower with Empower. And playing it safe.
Spin, get the kill, get back, and then just push bottom lane. Invoker's back to the world of living. He actually took the extra tomes of knowledge, which spawned up, so he's now only one level shy of 25.
Looking at the gold graph, biggest lead was possessed by Newbee, 5,000 about 10 minutes ago. Biggest lead by IAG, 6,000 right now.
Yeah, actually creeping up to about 7,000. It's just bumping up and up and up for Invictus Gaming, and
it's the same story as last game though. They won the lanes, they got Sunstrike kills, and then Invoker gets RP'd and just can't do anything about it. And their other core, Wraith King, is a little bit more tanky than the Weaver, but still is susceptible to getting skewered way back in.
This IG smoke, the positioning they're gonna have, like they're smoked up beautifully. Now Newbee, they get revealed quickly, and it was the Observer Ward. They get close enough to see him. Faith, the jump up, the kick is on the wrong target. A quick stampede is disengaged, but KP blinks in to go into the fight. He'll take the entire Omni Slash, so Burning will find that quick kill, and then the bash. Unan is isolated from the rest of his team. The RP on the back lines. Invoker can't do anything. This could almost be the game if they lose the Invoker as well, skewering him back. I suppose buyback is available, but Burning has a triple kill. You lost your mid-melee racks. You can push in through mid and go towards top, but IG, they own this map. They own every fight. They own Newbee's ass.
That was rough. My god. That Yule's on an Earth Spear too. Yeah, he might have missed the spells, but he Yule's a keeper and started off the fight. That was really what sealed it for them. Juggernaut spinning out. No big deal.
Couldn't spin in time. Oh, Kaka, you can't go out to that. Q throws him down, actually uses him to stun up U9. The Sunstrike will connect. So Wraith King, Reincarnation will trigger. Back to the world of the living.
That was a nice play by Burning. He tried to blink away with his main hero.
Is Coddle dead? Coddle's dead? Actually, no, there's no detection. So the range creeps won't continue to attack into it, so the Rubik will fall. And Coddle will barely survive.
And has two big buybacks, Invoker and SCCC. Just one more fight. They should be able to take this game home. Respawns in 1 minute 22 seconds. Good old Roshan.
Right in time for, well, who do you even give that to? Now you got
Jug.
the BKB over on Juggernaut. He's still fairly tanky.
Jug's the tower hitter. I think almost all the time you give it to the tower hitter. Ember Sphere is like, I mean, he's good with Aegis, but he shouldn't really die that much, and he's not going to be at the highest risk for the team. They need to be able to kill the Juggernaut, and he's so strong that you can't ignore him. Sometimes you want to kite the hero with Aegis and kind of ignore him, save him for last. That's what would happen if Wraith King were able to get the Aegis, but when Juggernaut with Empower is hitting you, it's something that you have to fight back.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Refresher is up for the Magnus. It took 37 minutes for it to arrive.
We'll let the fly. How do you actually make the RP sound? Can you do it for me?
I don't know. I don't know how you'd actually make that with your mouth.
I'm sure a beatboxer would know, but
yeah, but we're not that skilled.
I don't know.
That sound would still be good enough for me. Kaka, they see him in the tree lines. The Shadow Blade, they don't. He's just around the corner.
He's trying to pop smokes, but I think they've already blown through them all. Oh, there's U9.
Yeah, right on top of the Observer.
There's a gem on KP.
Here comes your kick. The RP's down, skewering back over. So U9 will be isolated for the moment. Remember, you've still got that secondary RP, but the double Barrow Strike, OP, plus the Earth Spirit taking out of the fight. The solo Omni Slash onto U9. He is gone for so long, almost a minute and a half down. Tornado will create a little bit of space, but Fade's having trouble running out. He's their primary D push. He cannot die, but Magnetize is a real pain in the butt, especially when Hellfire Blast will be able to connect. It'll be the final bit of damage. They hold the RP. SC is gone. That's really the game. You've got no Invoker for 2 minutes. You got no Wraith King, and Newbee will admit defeat. Invictus Gaming, on the back of what has been a superb Magnus display, will take the series in a landslide.
Get dumpstered by XXS. Oh my god. Him and burning on Magnus Jug is the strongest 1-2 punch I've seen from heroes in this tournament so far.
Newbee gave it to them twice. Like, it wasn't even just a...
They thought they had the counter. Well, Wraith King, I actually think it was more so the Invoker than the Wraith King. U9 was not my favorite build from him, but... I don't know. They just had no control for the Magnets because they got greedy. They were like, oh, we want a late game scaling core, but I think they actually need a better control hero to deal with the Magnus so that he doesn't get the RPs off every time. Like, how often were they able to stop him from casting RP? Never.
Yep.
Ever.
I would love to show you the graph, but it looks like Dota 2 game coordinator was having issues, so we don't have that for you. But don't worry, we have more Dota coming your way. One last series today, and the day will be done. But if you did just tune in for this series and you missed it, go back, watch it. It was an absolutely wonderful display of Magnus work coming out from XXS. So highlight it up, clip it up, share it with your friends, and maybe you can play Magnus on that level, because that was just insane. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Stay tuned. Next game up after the break.